Yo, and welcome to the stream. Hopefully, you're having a beautiful time as we are going to be hopping into one of the weighted matches, in my opinion, of course, which will be ENCE Academy going against WOPA in about a second. Of course, we only have one game for today, which is a little bit of a bummer in a way. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just going to call it like that. Call it what it is. So, these are the playoffs. So this is the starting stage on the opening matches. So these are the first matches so far from the playoffs. And for tomorrow, we will actually have 3 sets of them. So the one that is going to be canceled for today is going to be moved for tomorrow. And that's going to be Gen 1 against PC Game, as well as Talent versus Lil Mix. And after that, it's going to be Chimera versus Hamo. But yeah, at the moment, just checking at the teams that we have on the screen at the moment. That's going to be Vester, Gnafe, Slime, Prime, and Leaks. And that's from the side of Whoop-de-doo-de Wopa. And at the same time, I do want to talk about the Finnish side of the things. A couple of players that I've been even talking live in the past, and it's kind of cool that they're still sticking together. That's going to be Chuhai, Milti, Millard, Teme, Swartz, and Whitey as their coach. And these are even land-proven players, many times playing here in Finland. Actually seen it with my own 2 eyes as well. And in my opinion, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to actually see that we have teams that know what they're doing at that point. And you can see the players and names over here. And yeah, after actually bringing a couple of these players in, it's kind of cool that the steady rise from this team has been going up. There has been some losses, there has been some wins, which is kind of cool at the same time as well. So the matches that they have won lately was against Preezy 2-0. I actually watched that match yesterday. A very good match. They did lose against WOPA the last time they played against them on United League. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to factor in here. Of course, it went against Kono, that was a loss, but then there has been some wins against Las Kokutos, Verdant, and Astralis. But from the WOPA side, yeah, it's an interesting roster. They have had a couple of losses, but a lot of wins as well. So they did win against ENCE Academy, won against Las Kokutos, Adepts, Verdant. So there are some very good names on that list that they have actually gone through. And they have a very good track record against Finnish teams as well. So they did go against Hamo, won them 2-0. And that's a little bit of a bummer, of course, me being from Finland. I actually want to see them do well every now and then. But yeah, these are the matches. The maps. Ancient will be picked out of from the pockets of WOPA. Nuke will be a ENCE Academy pick. And Mirage will be the decider if we need one. That's the question. Do we need one? I'm not sure. We're about to see it. It's a little bit of a bummer that we don't have the Finnish cast for this one. So could have been awesome to have it separate on the background at the same time. Robo and Toivo, but yeah, it is what it is. So we are going to be hopping into the match in about a second. I thought the timer was like 5 minutes or something like that from the start. Seems like we're still having we had a couple of issues. Hopefully it's not going to affect the game at all. So we were having some production problems and people joining the server problems, but hey, that's Counter-Strike. It's never a good game unless you have a couple of issues. So we are still waiting. By the way, we could actually talk about the percentage. We always have something to talk about, especially when we're looking at maps that the teams decided to go for. Let me just shut this window so I can actually open them up. And here it is. Looking at the head-to-head. Oh, I'm getting actual messages right now. That's cool. So, looking at the head-to-head, even now that we're jumping into the game. The maps that they decided to go for, of course, Ancient is going to be WOPA's pick, so we're going to focus on that first. 62% versus 60. We've seen ENCE play this map. No problems. The question is, how did they lose the last time? And if ENCE Academy could actually make this a win, of course, WOPA has a 21 map play rate. They have a 5. Meanwhile, we see an A-side execution through the smoke from the CT spawn. It's going to work out well with the defense actually holding on to a couple of the players, and this is just falling down. WOPA. To be honest, I don't hate the strat. The problem is, with the Glocks from that close range, they should have just gotten a little bit more. Unfortunate push. Didn't really work out the way they were looking for. That's Counter-Strike. But yeah, back on those maps. So the interesting thing that I'm seeing at the moment is that WOPA, they have a 21 maps played here on ENCE Academy. They have 6, but the percentage is very close. And we know that ENCE Academy know how to play this one. So if they win this map, there's a possibility for a 2-0. But if WOPA, in my opinion, if they want to win this, we are talking about a 3-map series. And that has to stop a Mirage, unless there's something absolutely crazy that happens on Nuke. Nuke is 60 versus 36 at this point. And by the way, that last round was a buy round. I'm not entirely sure what happened. We didn't really see the camera angle from that. But they did decide to go for upgraded pistols. They lost every single weapon very early on there. And off we go for more. That is going to be the bombardment hurt. Swartz will come out with the first kill on the leads. This is just the FP9s at the moment wreaking havoc. Getting as much money as they can. Just a quick round until we're gonna hop into the gun rounds here. In my opinion, where the real CS gets played. Some of these rounds are important too. There's a little bit of evaluation on what's about to happen. What should they go for? What should they do? And that's going to be the early utility there at the start. This time around, ENCE Academy, they are going to be holding on to it, but letting go. Right now, you have a couple of ways of playing that on the CT side, usually. Some of the players, they really want to hold on to it aggressively, but the counter utility from the T side might actually push you away from that idea. And on that, moi moi. What's up? Tervetuloa streamiin. Welcome to the stream, everybody. By the way, I forgot to start off with that. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm on my break at the moment, so that's actually kind of cool. Time to host some CS. Already, middle has been breached. And it's going to be Vester pushing towards the red, going for that first fight. Meanwhile, Swartz, well, the only idea for him is to just hold on. As long as he's holding that little copy there, that's the information that they're not going to lose that much surface area on this map. That's going to work out. Shuhai is actually going to find a kill with that MP9. That's going to be the kill. And a couple of players pushing in from long. The Shadow is going to show up a lot, and that's a kill with a little bit of damage already. Okay, a 4 versus 3 retake with a couple of players very low in HP. That name's just going to be Nuke Killer. Miltsy does the damage. That's going to be the teamwork to make the dream work. And even a jumping MP9 shot, but it's going to be Miltsy with the M4 to take care of him. Meanwhile, they spot that nobody's actually holding on to the side. That has to be the round done. Vester can't really do much, especially with the swing towards the pit. And that will be the defuse. And another round on the board. And ENCE Academy starting to show us some team cohesion. I love it. More of this, please. Setup straight out the start. That's a little bit damage done to Vester. This is a buy round on the T side. Just keep that in mind. Okay, ENCE Academy looking like a well-oiled machine. Teme. Here from Cheetah just holding on for his teammate. Ready from the connector side. A little angle there. The second too high goes for a fight. He's gonna swing into that action if it's possible, depending on what kind of utility we're gonna see. Attack here. Leaks is gonna do just take a little bit damage from that spell, but it's enough HP to actually still try to go for a setup here. And B-side already been executed on. That's going to be the flash for long. They are going to win that first fight against Warch, so that's a very nice way of actually starting off the round. That's going to be the bomb flash for the Cape, but Teme with Miller, they will be finding their consecutive kills. And this is 3 versus 4 at the moment. With Knafe and Vester very low on HP, especially with Miller actually dropping down Slime. Vester catches the kill on the Miller. That's going to be the 1 kill on to Teme to make it a 2 versus 2. But they just need a little bit more time. Nice catch from Long. Too high left in a sandwich at the moment, especially with a player from short and pit. It's not going to give him the opportunity to even think about defusing the bomb. And with a very nice start to this round, WOPA, they do kind of open that puzzle up. And they make it happen. A very nice round from the T side. Just looking at the amount of damage the players lost. The side control was a little bit wobbly. But they fought on very well. Get the control of it. Made it look easy. Maybe for pre-easy. Or they're not playing today. So maybe on another tournament. What a catch from the air. Okay. Vester drops down Milsey from the air. That's just going to be the Spider-Man peak, I guess. Teme and Swartz are going to bring it back to a 3 versus 3. So a couple of entries, couple of losses there as well. Meanwhile, the rest of the players just hanging at the pit. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to swing on towards that side. But it's going to be Miller with that op. Now the only thing you need is those op shots to actually hit. But it's just going to be a shot to the face. Nothing else leaks. Opens up the side, and that's just going to be the round basically done. Now the question is, does ENCE Academy actually want to go for it? The amount of money that they had, I wasn't quite sure how much they might have enough for a buy, depending on how many they save. Too high. But it's up to retake with that first kill. But if they want to save, that op is looking very juicy at the moment. The problem is it's way too deep inside the lines, but they're actually starting to get a little bit closer towards it. And this is them actually going for another try. Swartz opens up the kill towards Leaks, and that's going to be the missed shot from Slime. The one shot needed to actually hit. They're already on top of the bomb. That's going to be the nade. It's not going to do anything. Right in front of their eyes. Slime will be going down with the op. The bomb will be defused. ENCE Academy, they take back what's theirs. Oh boy. That missed op shot. And I'm not gonna call it easy, of course. You might sometimes you miss a shot, hey. That's Counter-Strike. The question is, I've seen Slime play before. The problem is sometimes he hits some very crazy shots. Well, this time it's just prime. Okay. Opens up the whole middle by himself. That's just gonna be a triple kill per player. Even left with 45 HP to play around with. So if he wants to go for an ace, I wouldn't blame him. So yeah. From the past games, Slime usually hits some very gnarly kills, but sometimes he misses some very easy shots too. It's a known plaguey problem in CS. Inconsistent ops. Millard is going to be dropping down Prime to end that havoc. So this is a 2 versus 3 with the bomb actually being planted towards the B side. And the rest of the players just going for a casual save. Millard, if he can hold on to that op, too high with that AK, they can actually go for a buy on the next round. It's not going to be perfect, not even close, but at least there's going to be something. The problem is they don't really have a loss bonus, so at the moment, in a way, winning some of these rounds is playing against them. WOPA! Still reminds me of that Wonder Woman logo. Here we go. What a catchy start today. That's gonna be the pit hold from nothing. A little bit of that shoulder has been shown. Millard will be punished. Still lives for the next round, though. So that's going to be 22 HP. To be honest, for an op, as long as he hits the shot quickly, doesn't matter that much, but it's going to raise that risk factor just a little bit. Just a single bullet from that AK is going to be enough for him, and especially with that drill through the plywood. Oh boy, only a HP left for Chuhai. So, the best examples, that's a very nice kill from Leaks, actually winning that fight towards middle Milsey. Kind of taken care of there. And that's Teme left in 1 versus 3 inside that cave. He has to go for the fight, but that flash is just going to be so overpowered. To be honest, one of the plays against that flash is just the swing sometimes. I'm not entirely sure what you can actually even do at that point when you're hiding, but it is what it is. Just a tough situation, especially with that many Ps pushing at the same time. And at the moment, we're just seeing a systematic take of that side of WOPA. Absolutely just paving through the defense. Do we have a player with 0 kills on the server? Oh yeah, 007, a James Bond. You could actually be the actor for the next movie. With a dry martini. Not even 1 kill on his belt. My name's Bond. I miss a lot of shots, Bond. Here we go. Low buy from the side of ENCE Academy. Not that much utility to play with, but that one up. Problem is it's being posted on the wrong side of the site, so the quick push through. A-side control, in a way, goes fully towards the side of WOPA. There was a couple of players actually hiding inside some corners in the smoke, but it seems like it's been opened up. That nade is actually going to open up the smoke for Miller to go for a fight. Wins the first shot. The problem is pushing on towards the side. Slime is going to take care of him. We don't have a James Bond on the server anymore. And Swartz left in 1 versus 4. Doesn't really matter. Even that pistol, he could actually do some damage. The problem is it seems like they're actually aware of him. So that exactly is about to happen when you take a peek. 4-5, just a round away from a tie. And now we're getting into that space where we have to ask the question, how many rounds is going to be enough for the T side here? In my opinion, that 5 is actually very doable on a map like this if you have a good CT side, of course, ENCE Academy. Like I said, not a newbie on this map, so we do want to push on. So this is just going to be another A-side attack. Okay, calling this twice, always a ballsy move. But looking at the defense, of course they're not thinking about that. They might actually go for the same play. And that's exactly what's about to happen. Great timing of that spray too. Milsey left with 40 HP. And right now we're getting into that spot where ENCE Academy, they kind of have to get that first kill quickly. Or a discussion about actually saving the weaponry again is about to take pace. Meanwhile, there's a player looking towards the middle, but the timing is just a little bit off. That's going to be the first kill. A swing to actually catch out the player. That Slime actually dropping Teme in between. A hole towards the cave is going to work out for 1. So the donut player is going to drop out. That's going to be the player from the ruins. And with only 2 weapons left, there's nothing else that they can actually do. That's a great catch from Leaks. 1 less weapon. Kaboom goes the bomb, even with a kill from the 2 high. It doesn't really matter. And just looking at the amount of money that they have, they can go for an MP9, whatever setup they wanted. The problem is they just don't have the money. So maybe a half buy is going to be the way to go. We're definitely not going to see that op coming into play. And right now, the CT side is experiencing some issues. A timeout to crown it. They have to talk about it. What's going to be the right answer here? How can they move on? Another attempt, another play. Quick pick towards middle. Seems to be led by Slime, taking a little bit damage here. Meanwhile, it's Academy. They went for a buy that, well, gives them sleep at night. Just looking at the weaponry from Miller, the only thing he has is just a USB with a smoke. Saving money for that op buy on the next round. Smoke there, so just to play a couple of seconds off the clock. And WOPA, it's gonna be the right play. Sometimes, especially with the pace they have had so far, sometimes just let go of the gas, wait for the enemies to make a couple of mistakes. We might actually see some here. Gnafe getting very comfortable here in towards the pit. If we get surprised, that wouldn't be that insane for him to actually be dropped. That's a good trade actually coming in from Vester, but Chuhai takes that opportunity to drop one of the players. That's going to be Prime to drop down Teme from the swing from A main. Maybe getting a little bit too hectic there. For a second, they had the upper hand. Now, a couple of less weapons than what the opposition has. And it seems like WOPA has the control. The question is, how are they going to be playing this, especially with the utility used? This is supposed to be ENCE already returning towards the B side. They're going to get that call right now. And from short, we're going to see the majority of the push. Another smoke to make sure that long is going to be covered for that bomb plant. And this is just... Prime was playing for Big Academy, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. Swartz catches a leak, so it's a 2 versus 3. Wait a minute, this is starting to get a little bit more interesting, especially with a player behind the box. Miller with that USB will catch the likes of Slime. Now it's Prime left in a 1 versus 2. Both of the players actually equipped with weapons, even with a utility to smoke off the bomb. The first tick's coming in, and now it's all about the timing. And the swing is gonna work out for 1, but it's not gonna work out for 2. And especially with the time, there's enough for the defuse. ENCE Academy, they punish WOPA for the slow play. I am on the side of the slow play. But when you get that slow, oh boy, it's gonna hurt. 6 on the board. And that's the way you convert it. Did they have an eco too? Did I do that? And off we go for more. So, some very good rounds from the side of WOPA, but just a little bit of a hiccup here on the round number 11. So we are going to be hopping into the 12th. Some early utility will be spent there. Vester is actually still going to win the fight throughout all of that misery. He's going to come out with the second one, waiting for a utility. Great spray from Teme. A beautiful entry with a double, and Teme will be shutting it as well with a double. Okay. The problem is he's left with 8 HP, so he's basically a glass cannon at the moment. What they could use him is either for setup or for information, depending on how they actually want to play this, aggressively or passively. Op shot, it's not going to work out for anything. Need landed just the wrong way there. Meanwhile, the long hold coming in from too high. He has to actually hold on to his own, especially with the lurks coming in from Teme. Now the problem is Miller's going down is going to be an opener for them. Peak coming in. Too high actually makes this a 2 versus 2. The problem is both of the players are fairly low. Slime. The only thing he has to do is just get that bomb down and start the timer. Exactly what's about to happen. Now the push coming in from the cave. Gnafe. The timing on that turn is just perfect. Drops down the lurker from the back lines, and that's just going to be the off pick. Slime is definitely not going to miss that shot. And it's going to be a tie. 6-6. And WOPA picking this map. They might be very happy at the moment. Muy bonito. go. Changing the sides. Now a good spot for the teams to reevaluate how they actually want to do this. The pistol round is going to be important here, but it's not the end of the world if one of the teams actually loses it. Quick push towards the B side seems to be the way. Take as much cover as you can, get that bomb down, start the timer. And from the close range to what you can with the Glocks here. That's going to be the long actually being covered. There's a little bit of a gap there where one of the players can actually hide. That's going to be Swartz, depending how he's going to play it. From the close angle, Millard with a great peek is going to drop down Vester. And the rest of the players are getting chances here. That's going to be Milty, making sure that nobody's going to be pushing in from the cave. Catches the second player as well. And this is just a slow death of WOPA, as most of the players has been taken care of. And to be honest, on a round like this, with the speed that ENCE took that site, they don't really have that many chances to fight for it. So a little bit of a lackluster retake there, but it's just a pistol round. Definitely not over yet. For both of the teams, there's a lot to be played for on this first map. Seeing the buy around at the moment. That's going to be a couple of Galils, a couple of 8Ks with some utility. Of course, you don't want to spend every single nuke and cranny, especially knowing that the enemy team is not going to be fully equipped. And they're actually not going to go for a force buy or anything like that. It's just a full save. In my opinion, the right way to go about it. So, I mean, the second round, in theory, is supposed to be a save round. Unless they want to go for the M4 setup. The 2-round save for the full ops and utility, usually something that I cheer for. Very rare, especially with this little amount of rounds on the game at the moment. Maybe Valve could fix that. A little bit more money to the economy. Like a 500 bucks. 500 buckaroos. We'll see. Captures one of the players from backlines. To be honest, right now he has to be careful from exactly that. That's a little bit of a wasteful peek there. Losing that AK. And now it's lost. Oh, wait a minute. They actually didn't pick it up, so there's a chance of holding on to it. Drop towards the middle. Swartz. He's making a little bit of noise, but that's going to be his teammate holding on. Copy. Mac 10 will find a kill at 600 bucks straight off the bat. And there's the last player. Maybe Milts are getting a little bit hungry there, but it doesn't really matter. They had the round 1 versus 5 at that point. They will be taking care of it. You always just want to be a little bit careful of donating them an AK. We have seen some clips from the past. You give a certain player an AK, you might actually have a frag movie on the next round. But yeah, for ENCE Academy, that's going to be 2 rounds of a lead. Looking at the CP's economy, they're going to go for the buy. Now the question is this going to be enough? It's going to be a couple of MP9s, M4s. I usually don't suggest going for this. Well, of course, pro teams, they know exactly what they're doing. Semi-pro teams, whatever you want to call them. The problem is that if you lose this round, that's just going to throw you into a save loop. But saving just 1 more round, maybe going for a pistol, light armor setup, something like that, you could actually go for that op setup, whatever you feel like. At the moment, if they can't hold on to this one, that is really going to cost them. That's going to be 9 rounds on the table for ENCE Academy. And them left in another save. Or a force. Utility spent worse. Backside of that box there, Vester is actually going to make a very good job of holding on to that side. A couple of kills for him. That's going to be a couple of kills for Teme as well. And the bomb will be planted. So a 3 versus 3 retake. This is already getting very expensive for them. And the more players they lose, especially like this, Teme is going to make it a double kill for himself. And Too High steals the last kill from it to be an ace. And that's a crocodile, I think. I'm very sure that that's a crocodile. A very square crocodile, but there it is. And right now we're getting exactly into that point that I was afraid of. From investing on the last round They didn't have an op. The defense was a little bit lackluster. And right now they have nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing. Just an MP9, a couple of armors, and that's basically it. So as long as ENCE Academy, they play correctly against these pistols, looking at the stack coming on towards that B side, if they make another A side call, this is just going to be ridiculous. Oh boy. Be careful, boys. Be careful. That's got to be the swing from the double doors. milzy with 2 high, both the players catching respectable kills. Juhai is actually going to hammer his stats here a little bit. 16-8. Double the score at the moment. Okay. And there it is. 10 rounds on the board for the side of ENCE. Of course, the Academy team. I'm not even sure what's happening with the main roster at the moment. What's happening at the moment? Let me actually check out. There was so many roster moves, I wasn't actually paying attention to what happened with them. So yeah, they're actually still rocking the same old same. Well, Glaive, SDY, some Dion, Podinatu, and Kaspersky. That's a very international roster at the moment. Every single player from different countries. Gotta love it. But yeah, we're getting a full buy finally. If that's a good thing at this point. A little bit too late, but hey, 4 rounds. Isn't the worst comeback that we've actually seen. You win just this round, you win the second one, make a bit of a money lock for them. Hey, everything's on the table, everything's possible depending if they get the bomb plants or not. Red will be the first one to challenge milzy, very close to challenge over here. A couple of steps be made so they know exactly what's the play. And milzy is actually not going to take a step off that engine. That's just going to be a perfect double hold Teme. Breach is true. Catches one of the players, but there's still a man disadvantage at the moment. So, nice kill from Leaks. And if we want to talk about a comeback, this is exactly the kind of round WOPA was looking for. A great pick. Almost a double, but it's not going to work out. Knaffe shuts it down. And saving 3 weapons for the next round, especially with the lost bonus that they have. Easy buy. So they can actually drop those couple of weapons for them. Stabilize the economy. But if WOPA, they want to start... Well, it's not the end of the world in a way yet, but if they want to actually make this a little bit more comfortable for themselves, they have to start chaining rounds together. The problem is if they lose a round now, especially considering their money, and if they lose a couple of weapons here and there, it's going to make the rounds just a little bit more softer for the side of ENCE Academy. And that's a beautiful nade. Oh, that is going to hurt. A beautiful timing on that nade, but a couple of drop shots. Knaffe with Slime, they will be finding their kills with Leaks as well. Teme, only one with the first kill. Already going for the bomb plant. milzy catches a player from the lane. But this is just going to be a total destruction on that B side. And those quick plays don't seem to work. WOPA, they were waiting for it. But to be honest, there has to be some kind of a read from the side of ENCE Academy that for a couple of rounds, we have seen so much action towards the B side. Maybe an A call could be the way, but of course, if they're going to take a timeout right now, it's going to be so obvious. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be the right call here. The defense, they might be talking about it too. And this might be a trick, a Finnish trick. A Finland swapperoo. To wait to put a rug underneath you and then just pull out the cord. It's not actually called a cord. It's called... What do you fish with? That little line? I think it's called just a line. Fishing line? Fishing line for the rod? Hello? It's time to pull it. Or is it time for WOPA to make an absolute show here on the CT side? Dominate defense. I'm not sure. Early utility will be spent. That's going to be the Molotov to make sure that the cave is burning. And just looking at the placement of the players at the moment, there's 3 players just waiting outside of that A main for any of the action to go down. And that's even the bomb, actually, committed over there. A drop utility. Leaks is going to support his teammates there. And at the moment, you can hear the world burning around them. Vester having a heck of a time here. Bomb picked up. And for the good luck, the question is, how do they want to make this happen? It's going to be rotated slowly towards the B side. The problem with these calls is that they have no idea what's happening on the CT side at the moment. They're making very large plays, very large decisions based on the fact of just guessing at the moment. But sometimes a bad call could be a win if it's executed correctly. But at the moment, they're definitely going to be pushing on towards the side that has the most players. And there's actually nobody even faking towards that A side at the moment. So that's going to be the first line of utility. Actually falling down the flash towards the middle to try to take a little bit more space. But this is definitely not going to pull any of the players from the CT side. And already with the utility being dropped towards the site, they are pushing to a stacked side at the moment. That's going to be the Tema with the kill. But like I said, if it works, it works. No problems at all, especially from the long. Schwartz comes out with a double kill. That's Teme with 1. And doesn't matter how well they stack that site. That's just a round. Here we go. 4 players will survive for the next one as long as they don't go down with the bomb plant. That's gonna be 8-11. One round for a map point here for the Finnish side, and with a couple of players from somewhere else. I think one was one Macedonia. I don't remember exactly at the moment when I actually figured that one out. I remember where these players were from. Yeah, Macedonia and I think Switzerland. Georgia. Georgia. Yeah. I'm living in Georgia. So here we go. Quick plays from the lane. A nice jumping shot coming out of Leaks. Actually, guys, the second one as well. That is supposed to be criminal in some way. That's going to be an op for him if he wants to pick it up for the double op setup. So ENCE Academy, they can't really touch that weapon anymore. In my opinion, that is supposed to break some kind of a Newton's law somewhere. I'm not entirely sure, but that was just insane. A double kill there at the defense. And Prime will be holding down middle from the red. Now the question is, how cleanly can they actually hold on to this one? That's a quick trade from Milty after that first kill from Prime. And right now... Sorry, I meant Prime before, if I said Leaks, yeah. Prime was playing for Big Academy, if I remember correctly. I don't even remember what I said, but it's okay. Meanwhile, the bomb and the last player, that's going to be Schwartz, leading the push towards the A side. They will be fighting for that bomb plant. Great timing on Slime for that op. And this has to be a suicide swing coming out of Schwartz. If he wants to even attempt this. Needed shots will be missed. And it's going to be the support from the Donut. Vester takes the control. A bit of a timeout. 9-11 will be the scoreline at the moment. They're gonna have to talk about what's happening at the moment. This is close enough to bring out the pressure from the side of WOPA. Some teams might actually play a little bit better under pressure. So that might actually raise some problems from the side of ENCE Academy. especially as we are seeing a force buy at the moment. So this is basically going to be one singular buy before letting that team reach tie. Let's see. That's going to be the nade for the lane in ENCE Academy. It will be just taking a step back here. No reason to push into any of them. Meanwhile, through the smoke, the real push is coming out. And the spray will be perfect for Chu, almost turning back for more. The problem is he actually came out with a... Wait a minute, that's another drop. It's a 3 versus 3 with a weapon on their side, but Slime does drop one with the USP. Attempt to go for that plant. The rest of the players will be taken care of. And this will be it. Here we go. Another round, especially with the economy at the moment. And then Mac 10 being actually bought into the side of 2 high. That's gonna be a utility spend for the pit. That's not actually gonna hold on to anything. Meanwhile, oh my god, this is going to be one of the most horrible pushes towards the B side. They're losing every single player on that push. It's just going to be 2 high left. And a Tech 9 to the face, 11 to 11. WOPA will be taking back the control of this map, actually bringing it to a tie at the moment. ENCE Academy, they had some very wild pushes, which actually makes me a little bit crazy on the rounds that WOPA was just waiting for them to push on towards that B side. They just absolutely opened up every single nook and cranny. And right now, they're just having ridiculous problems getting those trade kills. Just literally giving everything back towards them. And this might be a little bit of a problem right now. Here we go. I've been training towards that A main. We have seen a couple of B-side pushes. Not really any of those A-side rushes so far. Still, I think one of them on a round that they didn't even have any weaponry on. Leaks holding on towards that cave. Anybody who wants to take a swing from the pit seem to be ready for that for a little while too. There is a couple of backups here. He has to be a little bit careful if he loses his life way too early, especially from the cave. He can actually go for the double peek. That's gonna work out perfectly. A smoke towards the short. And a double to actually make this a little bit more doable. It's a true versus true at the moment. Slime catches the kill on the Milty. This is a 1 versus 2. This could be huge if we could actually bring this back. But of course, it's going to be the Tech 9 again to drop the last player. And Swartz definitely had the angle on that push. Slime just going for the withdrawal of that weapon, and it works out for a kill. WOPA 12-11. Off we go. One round lead for WOPA. See, already taking care of this. It's just going to be a shutdown. I think it's done. At the moment, they're throwing whatever they can actually just can against the grain, and nothing is working. That middle take was a disaster. Losing 1 player in the defense, but losing 3 on that swing. And that's about to be it. Leaks will be taking the likes of Millard, and that's basically done. 13-11. And yeah, I have to say, ENCE on a very large lead, having basically all of the games there. Then they start to go for those weird little pushes here and there where they start to lose players. Not really going for anything against the grain. And at the end of the day, didn't work out. That's going to be WOPA coming back on their own map pick, making it the first map win for them. And we were talking about the fact that if they want to actually win this series, it has to go through the 3rd map. So now we're going to be hopping into Nuke, which will be heavily favored against, towards ENCE Academy. So let's take a little break, hop into Nuke, check out what's about to happen on the 2nd map. And welcome back to the stream as we are going to be hopping into Nuke of all things. Now the question is, are we going to see a resurgence from WOPA to actually make this a 2-0? They had a little bit of a rough time there on the first map, but after a great comeback, the momentum is definitely with them. And now the question is, ENCE Academy on their own mapping. Are we going to see a win? Are we going to see a third map here? Or is this just going to be one of those 2-0 series? They looked so good at the start, but then a couple of problems here and there led him into a spot where Slime is absolutely destroying them from main. That's going to be too high with the only kills so far. 3 kills for the dually swinging Cowboy. And Teme with too high at the moment. They're just tanking. I'm not entirely sure what happened. That was supposed to be a round, and it really didn't work. Yomi, tervetuloa streamiin. What's up? What's up? This is a little bit of a time botch here, as we're just seeing them literally burn the midnight oil at the moment. And we're waiting. It's not actually midnight, just, you know, for a sense of words. It sounded cool. Prime will be holding on top of the hot save. If they could actually open this one up, get the second kill towards the main, that makes it a 2 versus 2, but that needs so many things to actually happen at the same time. Fester and Prime, they will be holding on to the last 2 players there at the end. Easy peasy lemon and skeezy. That will be the first round for WOPA. Defense working like a charm. Here we go. Early nades will be spent there. That's going to do a little bit of damage, or even take care of the player. The second one. Too high will be going down at the start, just taking a couple of shots there. This is, of course, just a Glock round. Quickly taken care of. I was waiting for maybe a kill or two, but we're not going to see that. Now, a bomb round to be bought. By the way, I'm not entirely sure why I know stuff like this, but did you know that those silos, the shape of them is for a good reason? It's to actually make a downpool of air to actually push out the hot water vapors up in the sky. Insane. And by the way, the structure of that formation is not made out of bended tubes, it's actually straight tubes. So when you have a structure like that, you can actually make it from straight lines, which is kind of interesting. So the more you know, information that has to do absolutely with nothing and helps you with nothing in your life. So congratulations. I just gave you a fact that you will literally never use in your life. That's the first kill there at the start. Slime will be going down, but after gaining a couple of kills, but they will be pulling it back. Prime. These are just MP9s doing the work at the moment. 3 players down. Swartz barely enough HP to play around. Millard will be the only one stacked up to the brim. And this is the buy round. I was actually waiting for this to get a little bit more scrappy, but the bomb not even close to a side at this point. 3 of the players stacking up better weaponry. That's going to be an 8K picked up from 2 of the CTs. Vester catches Millard. And that's another weapon picked up. A full stack from the CT side. If you ever wanted to start off the CT side, well, this is exactly how you want to do it. Who's left as the last player. A bullet to the brain. The round is done. WOPA with 3 rounds on the board. ENCE. Zilch. There was a 2-0 the last time they played. Let me actually check out the score. And no problem, Yomi. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Literally one of the useless information out there. But it's sometimes those little facts are funny. It's cool to have them. So they played 13-9 and 13-7 on Nuke. Actually, they lost the Nuke the last time. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised. I've always thought ENCE as a little bit of a better team than WOPA. Of course, WOPA has some names. You had, I think this was Slime from Sprout playing. I think he's actually still rocking his jersey on that picture, so. Fine. Small pick up there. Slime. Defensive kills. That's going to be Millard with the 1 Tech-9 trade. It's going to be this Hopper. Left in a row. Of course, it's got to be the duelist to come out with one of the pulls. One player on the lower side at the moment. Not entirely sure what he's doing over there, but this means that the hut will be held down. Somebody just needs to get on top of the bomb, and that's basically going to be the round done. The long lurk coming in from outside at this point is not going to be able to do much. They might be a little bit confused, like, where are the players at the moment? WOPA will go for the peak. That's gotta be the chase to drop down the play. Okay, this is getting a little bit more questionable at the moment. The only thing you have to do is just hold on to the play. 1 second left, and they actually clutched around? Are you serious? They had a smoke to cover off the main? They didn't use it? Hello? Teme! That was criminal at that point. The charge towards the main to try to drop down that player just leaves him in a crossfire, knowing that there's a player towards the squeaky as well. Oh boy! That was just naughty. Oh boy, my hands are hurting. I was actually squeezing my hands big time. At the last, I think I saw the clock hit 0. Oh, that's not good for the defense. Of course, it's a very nice retake attempt. Almost even working out, but a couple of mistakes there at the end. Just throws it up in the sky. Look at that. Swartz even starting off the round with a kill. This is a full buyback from WOPA. Of course, a couple of utilities short, but it's enough. Meanwhile, Secret will be held on. Boy. Yeah, definitely raised I'm not entirely sure how Prime actually got into that. Maybe he dropped down to that location. That's just a little bit of a risky move. Sandwich between the two players, but he will be finding one to bring it back to a 4 versus 4. Vester does the job. And that's going to be Gnafe with one as well at the moment. The attack is just absolutely falling down, but Swartz will be bringing it back with high. So it's a 2 versus 2. This is definitely doable at the moment for the side of ENCE Academy. It's all about the bomb, but trying to cross it from is really not going to work out. And at the moment, there's so many markers on that minimap that you possibly even see what's happening. And that was a very chaotic round. I think it was the last time I was casting, there was a 1 versus 1 situation happening behind the team main with a lot of time left. That might be the second time that I've seen a full situation like that happen outside of the team main, which is kind of funny. Usually you don't really see that many end fights over there, especially when there's time left on the round. So yeah, another round that gets a little bit out of hand. WOPA making it as chaotic as they can. Meanwhile, on top of the silo, that's going to be the drop from one of the players. And seems like with the pistols that they have, it was an idea to go for a couple of challenges there. But at the moment, ENCE Academy, they will be just pumping the brakes. Elastinen jarruta. Meanwhile, Secret will be the prime. That was a pun. Almost died there. Secret will be the prime position for Prime. XD. Any other players wanting to swing in here. That MP9 is going to be at its best possible distance for that kill potential. And this is just a minute already being burned out of that clock. They're really waiting for a push from the side of WOPA, and to be honest, the best idea is to not go for any. The slow play is what works. Couple of shots there. And leads. Okay. That's a little bit of a warning not to go for another swing. Those eagles, they might actually catch you, but the trap set outside, working to perfection. Teme will be the only one to actually catch a kill in between. And they will be saving 4 rounds for our next one, and that's just a full wipe. 5 rounds on a row. Sorry, 5 rounds on the board, not in a row. And did grab 1 in between. And we're getting into that spot where they get to buy again, but right now could be a very good idea to have that talk. maybe even go for a timeout. Of course, we're not going to see it, but maybe have just a little bit of a talk there on what kind of early fights they're having. Where are the issues? Of course, the lack of consciousness, especially from some of these rounds. It's so chaotic. I'm not entirely sure what you can actually even give as an information at that point, but it's good to just step it back. Maybe try to affect that momentum just a little bit. That's a very nice kill from Teme to save out his teammate. Kind of almost going down, but it's going to be a quick trade. Even a push put. I'm not entirely sure how Teme won that fight. Okay. He's going to drop Prime. Just turning around, but Slime will be catching his own. Swartz takes down Leaks with a beautiful push through that smoke, but the problem is his crosshair was a little bit off. But it's going to be the fight from the silo. Swartz not even actually thinking about the fact that there might be a player over there. Millard comes up with a quick trade, and on top of the catwalk, this will be Slime. If he makes this a 1 versus 1 quickly, without the players actually heading up, he might have a very good chance, but the problem is they're gonna make the right call, and up they go. A side will be on the bench. Miltzy left to hold. The close angle towards the heaven. And that's Millard. Every single spot. The only thing he needs is that information for his teammate. Nice catch on it. Okay, are you fucking serious? That's not supposed to happen. What the fuck was that? Slime! That, okay, now he's dead already. Yeah. He's already feeling bad. He's dead. He's kaput. That's not supposed to happen in so many levels because they're actually holding heaven. He just literally absolutely wrecked Millard on his hot hold and just went straight in for the second peak behind the silo. I'm not entirely sure how you can actually have balls the size of a basketball to actually go for a play. Well, maybe that was the only answer. Worked out. Quick 2 kills. Very sharp on those ones as well. Controlled that situation. And WOPA, well, they have their 6th round. On a round where it was definitely supposed to be ENCE Academy's win. They went the right ways. They actually made the right calls. Went for the outside play. A-side play. Oh, Prime, hello? You don't have Stewie 2K on the server, do you? Leaks. Takes care of the first pusher. That's going to be Teme with Miltzy. Opening up the side. A very nice kill from the back angle. This is supposed to be their round now. A 4 versus 2, but a clutch like that might actually bring out some motivation to go for insane retakes, but we're not going to get this time around, especially with a little bit damage done towards Slime. He's going to be backing off, leaving it, and ENCE finally can find their 2nd round. Boy, I'm still thinking about that retake at the moment. That was just criminal. There we go. At least the T side is starting to turn somehow. And right now we're getting into that spot, or we are at that spot where you really want to change some rounds together here on the T side. You don't want to give WOPA too many rounds where they can actually chain them together, because that's just going to bring them to 8 to 9 to even 10 if it's possible. Meanwhile, from the side of ENCE, as long as you can start to bait into some of these rounds, bite into some of these rounds, sorry. If you make it a 5, even 4 is actually still very workable. A 5 is an almost comfortable spot if you win that pistol. You know that you have a CT side on a map like this. You could definitely make a lot of happen with that, but I'm just thinking about how am I supposed to pronounce that? Make stuff happen. Make it happen. Hello? I hope for a comeback. Meanwhile, it's gonna be pushed outside the hut, almost shooting at his own teammates. WOPA just giving them a bit of space here to go for whatever play they want to actually go for. That's gonna be the trades. Teme did drop one of the players. Millard went down against Prime. And at the moment, I'm just looking at the body language out of WOPA. It seems like they're actually going for the save. Knowing that they don't have that much money in the economy, at least they can go for another round buy. The question is that I'm just a little bit surprised that they decided to leave the A side so empty like this. It's just a little bit unfortunate in a way, but for ENCE Academy, that is going to be a beautiful round. Saving the weapons. The only thing that they could be looking for a little bit more was a couple of CT side kills to make the upcoming rounds a little bit easier. That bomb blast almost takes care of 3 of the players if they didn't run into that spot. The perfect timing, but they survive easy peasy. Click, click. That is 3 rounds on the table, just a couple of more. And we're getting into that comfortable spot that we were talking about. We're not comfortable, but very doable. Just, utility outside. And a couple of players already on top of the main there. Even behind it. So, outside. Gonna be the kill. Actually leaks. Drops the first player. Milty will be going down, but Schwartz will get the quick trade. That's the spray coming out of the main to make sure that if they're gonna be bouncing down the secret, at least they're gonna take a little bit damage with them. And too high, just holding. No reason to go for anything crazy here. If any of the CTs that want to go for the information, that crosshair will be eye leveled. And on top of the silo giraffe. Ooh, goes on Rafe. He's gonna play that for victory. And the question is, does he want to go for seconds? Millard is ready for that angle. That's gonna be Prime with a kill on the Swartz. We're not really seeing every single kill, but this is a lot of control that they have, especially with that shot. Millard will be giving out the information that one of the 2 players is actually holding outside. Too High wins that fight, but the problem is he only has 17 HP to play around with. Millard will be left with a lot of work here to try to bring down the round if they actually want to still go for it. 30 seconds left. That's going to be 25 now. On top of the silos. Sorry, on top of the heaven he goes. And this timing has to be perfect. 15 seconds left on the clock. That's going to be the utility outside. The Molotov with the flash. And the flash from the main. A lot of noise has been made. And the op shot hitting the heaven player. And Fester will take down Millard as well. And there we go. Early defense. Oh, that was supposed to be Vester's kill every single day of the clock. Too High will be opening after that kill. That's going to be Prime with a shot onto Teme. Drop. That's going to be the little attempt to... I think that we're trying to push down the vents. Maybe getting a little bit confused there. Alert will be bringing it back to a 3 versus 3, but just look at the HP at the moment. A couple of the players, they have enough to play around with, but they're getting close to that limp around mode. Prime, if he challenges, is at the perfect time, and that's going to be the kill. Flash on top of the red, goes for the second one, even spots the players from the T side. Actually does a little bit damage too. And that is just going to be a quad for the ex-big player. Oh boy. Yeah. That's a very good round for the side of WOPA. Utility being spent there at the start, and they're just looking to switch these sides so far. The D side is starting to look a little bit catastrophic. Slime catches the first player on this at the start. That's Knafe coming out with the second kill already. WOPA seems like the 2-0 victory from the last time wasn't that extraordinary. They actually did win with a better margin this time around. ENCE came a little bit closer on the first map. But here on their own nuke pick, the last time I think they played was 15-7. Great catch from Milty to open up the lower site. Now it's all about the timings. If the holder from the lobby is going to work out, Slime catches Milty. That's a very good job. And now they know none of the players have crossed to either of the sites. And Millard will be dropping down the vents. Now this is all on the Slime to read this. And he has no information, but he's still actually going to go off his senses. The problem is Millard. That's a beautiful angle to win that fight. And that's the B side open. A smoke to go off the left side.
Bomb has been planted.
And that's just a single bullet from Millard. Okay, sometimes you don't need to spend that much ammunition. Shot to the face, and that's done. Leaks left in a 1 versus 2. And he might be ready for Millard's angle. That's going to be the one shot from Squeaky. The full bush outside. The problem is he has utility picked up on his hands. And there goes the chance. For a second, looked like it was doable. That's the round. Great job from Millard to bring that back. A new one would go. So, changing the sides, as we're gonna see the pistol. Swartz drops the likes of Slime. Great peek at the start. And this will be the swing coming in towards the ramp, but Milty catches one of the kills in between as well. 3 players, they find their way down below. That's gonna be the smoke for the plant. And the only thing they actually have to go for is just the plan to try to hold on to it. With these pistols, they can drop a couple of players from the close angle. That's going to be Wester with Prime already doing the work at 3 versus 3. This is very doable now, especially when they're just chasing them down. A couple of the players very low on HP. It's all about the ramp player, depending on the timing. That's going to be the beautiful kill from the single door. Wester comes out with the second. And this is a 1 versus 2 now with both of the players tiered up too high. Behind the silo, Swartz wants to go for the peak. That's going to be the first one, but he doesn't know where Wester is playing from. 10-second defuse. Oh, this is definitely not going to work out. Oh, it's still going to be the kill coming out of Swartz. He just doesn't have the time. And that's done. Oh, God. So close. A great intuition that the push was coming behind him, especially with that door open. But WOPA, they win a ridiculous 5 versus 3. And that's the problem. You shouldn't focus too much on the fact that they have the numbers. It's not always about the numbers. With those clocks, if you get to any of those close positions, especially from a vent, it's so easy to catch a couple of headshots, especially when you can spam that weapon. With the USB, you actually have to be accurate where it works out for the distance, but when you just have those chaotic moments close to the vents, you really just want to take a step back and just give them the opportunity to step in, where you can finally go for a retake. That's going to be Wester with the first kill at the start of the round, of course, and this is a buy round for the side of ENCE Academy, so this isn't a simple round in a way. Nice Mac 10 Cats, Prime, and Leaks. We've been dropping a couple of more. And now we're starting to see the downfall of this team.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb being planted, and at this point, basically the only thing they can go for is just to try to save as many weapons as they can. WOPA gaining their 10th round.
Terrorists win.
And just the pure silence. ENCE Academy going for their, I'm not even sure, 1 out of 4. Yeah, there could have been more chances for timeouts throughout the match. 4 to 10. And right now it needs basically a perfect CT round to make this happen. You have a combo bet for OG to win. Who against OG is actually playing today? BC Game. Okay, yeah, that's a reasonable bet in a way. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a longer timeout here, it seems. So what could be going on? We didn't have any drops, I'm sorry. Okay, we're getting back in. That was a little bit surprising. Hey! Back to the groove. So, as we are looking at the last couple of rounds here. Nice catch. Swartz actually drops down Slime with that 5-7, but it's a quick trade, so 1-1, of course. Getting a pistol kill like that is always a bit of a W. We need it more. That's gotta be that M4 to drop 2 players there very quickly. And yeah, Teme steps into the fight just a little bit too slow. The problem is that they can actually already go for either of the sides, and this is just Prime trying to hunt down that last weapon. He's being given information as he's nodding. Yes, I'm going to hunt it. That's the connection coming in towards the upper main, and Tem at the moment, for a second there, it seemed like he was thinking about the retake, but yeah, with the bomb being planted downstairs, the problem is both of those angles are going to be held in, and it's almost going to be insane to try to retake it at that point. With such little time left, it's definitely not going to happen. So, saving the weapon for next round, giving WOPA their 11th, or not being given, it's being taken. And we're getting very close into a interesting spot. Now, boom goes the bomb, and that's Knoffe. With 22 health and leaks, well, he is doing fine. So, and to be honest, it doesn't really even matter at this point. So, for the side of ENCE, we really need to start to see some rounds now. And not just a couple of crazy rounds where they lose one. I mean, we need to see a row of rounds to bring this to an 8. Maybe at that point they can lose one and just bring it to an overtime, or even just win this map if they want to. But seeing something like that would be absolutely insane. But that's going to be the boost on top of the box here. Well done. Slime going for that early peek. Really fun in the angle. Leaks drops the likes of Swartz. So, early fight is going to work out for the side of WOPA. Seemed like they were a little bit more ready for that peek to happen. Great catch from the A side already. Teme giving so much. There wasn't actually a hold outside. That's Milty with one of the kills to follow means it gets traded immediately. Too high drops the likes of Knoffe. It's going to be a little bit of a sloppy fight, but Vester finds the angle with that AK. And this is just one by one. Them dropping down. The bomb is definitely going to go down. And there you went.
Bomb has been planted.
Dropping behind the T side vent. The only thing Vester has to do is just wait. And Prime will catch that first kill. Or the timing of that last kill, sorry. There we go. There we go. This is a very one-sided match so far. Too high with Miller pushing in towards the T-side lobby. That's going to be a long-range laser kill coming out of that V9. And trying to catch the timing. Miller just dropped the player from the heaven. But where was this? Yeah, Miller, at this point, it doesn't really do much. I'm sorry, buddy. Like, yeah, you won the fight, great, but the problem is you guys are losing big time on the server at the moment. So, maybe focus on getting some more rounds here. Just saying. Just one more round for the side of WOPA and it's done. Let's see if we can actually see some more of that. I love the energy. The more they can actually produce, the better. Especially thinking about the fact that we only have a match today. This is going to be one of the quickest ones so far. Outside fight is going to work out for 2. Meanwhile, Too High did drop down leaks. And this might be the swing towards the main. Too High is actually going to give away that position. Understanding that they might actually want to go for the swing there. Nice catch from him to bring it back to a 3 versus 3. So a couple of the players still low here from the side of WOPA. That's 26 and 34 HP left for Knopf and Slime. 60 HP together. Meanwhile, Too High is literally just limping on the server at this point. A shot to the face. Milty will be taking the full HP prime. Now the question is, Knopf, can he go for the trade? There's a sandwich moment happening in about a second. Too High. That's the perfect timing. And it's going to catch the player from the back. That's the 3rd kill of the round for him. And Milty He's just waiting for Slime to slip. Wiggle his way in there. That's the round. Kaboom. At the moment, the scoreboard. In a way, it's not that bad. It's just that a couple of players are lacking. Everybody on the side of WOPA actually hitting more than 10. That's the utility for the T-side main. A little bit damaged there. Millard will be holding on. He has to be very careful. That is a very dangerous peak at the moment. We have been seeing that on CS so many times in a row. That op without any backup. It's easy to just go wide and just absolutely destroy him. Slime actually catches the second kill with that Deagle too. Is this the way that they're actually gonna go down? Not like this, the CT side. At least Teme brings it back to a 3 versus 4. This is a little bit more doable with the bomb actually going down. A little bit too much being shown, but Vester, safely and surely, does a little bit damage. That's not gonna be the headshot. That's exactly what I was looking for. He will be stepping towards the boxes on top of the catwalk. That's a lot of space for him. Grafe catches Milty, and this will be too high with Teme. Left on the retake. A little bit questionable at the moment. Teme back to 2 versus 2. The AK brings it to a 2 versus 1, and the only thing that Glock has to do is just to play time, especially with the amount of damage done. ENCE Academy they go down, and WOPA will be winning their own map pick. 13-6. And holy moly, the Danes are looking good. I have to say that was an unfortunate start for the Finnish squad, but it's okay. They're not gonna drop out of the tournament. The only thing is that... Actually, let me just turn that off because I look like a smurf at the moment. They're not gonna drop out of the tournament. The only thing that's gonna happen is that they're gonna drop to the lower bracket. And WOPA, well, they will continue their journey from the upper bracket and have a chill and a swell time. Looking at the placements at the moment, I think we do have another Finnish team here, which will be Heimo, and we will actually go through them tomorrow on Wednesday. So we only had that one best of 3 for today. Sorry about that, boys. And WOPA, congratulations to the 0 victory here at the start. ENCE Academy, they still have a chance. So that's going to be Gen 1 versus BC game tomorrow. Astralis Talent versus Lil Mix, and after that, it's going to be Chimera versus Heimo. So another Finnish team that is trying to show a bit of a class here. That could actually win and find a spot there at the end. But yeah, we're going to take a little bit of hiatus until tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the casting. I was your caster and your host. My name is Donas, a donut. That was a hard one. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good time. Bye-bye.